The Democrats have taken over Washington, and they are wasting very little time jumping into the things that truly matter to them, like not opening up the government and not funding the border wall. This is Ruben J, and you're listening to the Ruben J Report. It's been less than a day that the Democrats have taken back the Congress. And here's the thing. It's been literally less than a day. They are hard at work trying to undermine President Trump already, and they are doing so by making sure that the 2020 election cannot be won via electoral college system. The system has been in place since day one here in the United States. Representative Steve Cohen from Tennessee, is a Democrat, introduced two bills on Thursday, and we'll talk about one of them is trying to eliminate the electoral college system, and the other one is to try to prohibit presidents from pardoning themselves. Of course, President Trump has said that he thinks he can pardon himself if he had committed any crimes, and that we're not sure if he's committed any crimes or not, and we will learn eventually. I don't think he has, but that's not the point of this particular podcast. This podcast is to really take a look at this electoral college system and to see if maybe the Democrats are onto something here. Maybe it is time to get rid of the electoral college system. But before we jump into that, I do want to say that today's podcast is brought to you by multimediamouth.com, your place for entertainment, news, and of course some politics as well. We are expanding into that realm as well. But this is a test podcast, one of many, so it's not really brought to you by anything. But head over to multimediamouth.com, show the brand some love. So let's go ahead. Let's talk about Cohen's first attempt to get rid of the electoral college system. This is according to the dailywire.com. A press release from Cohen's office stated that the senior member of the House Judiciary Committee would like to introduce two constitutional amendments on opening day of the new Congress. The first would be to eliminate the electoral college and provide the direct election of the president and vice president of the United States. Basically, what they're trying to do is get rid of the representation version of the election. So basically, the way it's set up now is each state has a certain amount of electoral colleges. The popular vote of each state the electoral college goes to the candidate who wins the popular vote. That's a super dumbed down version of what happened. The press release says in two presidential elections since 2002, including the most recent one in which Hillary Clinton won by 2.8 million more votes than her opponent, the winner of the popular vote did not win the election because of the distorting effect of the outdated electoral college. Americans expect and deserve the winner of the popular vote to win office. More than a century ago, we amended our Constitution to provide direct election of U.S. senators. It's time to past time to directly elect our president and vice president. So here's the problem with that. Here's the problem with a popular vote. What's going to happen here is essentially a couple of states are going to end up owning the election. California and New York are going to end up owning the election. And what that means is Democrats are going to win no matter what. Democrats will win an election no matter what if there is not an electoral college. And I'm not saying that Republicans are going to win strictly based off an electoral college system, because that's not true either. Barack Obama won both the popular vote and the electoral college vote in 2008 and in 2012. But what they're saying is Hillary Clinton who by the way, was a bad candidate, was not a good candidate. She was a bad candidate, lost the electoral college because she didn't play the game. Donald Trump went out and played the game. He went out and he campaigned where he knew he can get the votes, and he knew that he can get a certain amount of electoral college votes from certain places. He didn't come out to California a lot because he knew that was a waste of time, but he went to places where it mattered. And President Trump won the votes that mattered. Hillary did not. Hillary won the votes that did not matter. Now, but the votes do matter in a sense where if you have, for example, if you go to a state like, let's just say California. Let's just say Donald Trump came out here and he fought neck and neck with Hillary Clinton over California. Okay, the way it works is that if Hillary Clinton won the popular vote of California by 1%, she would get all 55 electoral college votes. That's the way the system works in, I think, most of the states. So President Trump went and he fought for the states that he knew he could win that would add up to more electoral college votes, where Hillary didn't focus on electoral college votes. She voted on popular vote. That's what she was aiming for. And by the way, again, here's the thing. Hillary Clinton is an extremely flawed candidate. So basically what they're saying is we don't think we have a candidate who could win the electoral college vote. So let's go ahead and let's get rid of the Electoral College, and let's go ahead and let's make it strictly a popular vote. You know, forget about the tradition of the election. Let's forget about the truth of what's happening here. Let's cripple President Trump going into the 2020 election. Let's make it impossible for anyone other than somebody who's popular in California and New York and Illinois to win. So, I mean, because here's the thing, if you can't win California, you can't win New York, and you can't win Illinois, you've lost a majority of the votes of Electoral College votes right there. That between those states alone, let me just do some math here really quick. 55, hold on, sorry, let me do that again. 55 plus 29 plus 20. 104 votes right there. Okay, so 104 votes between those 3 states. Okay, so if you can't win those 3 states, you're more than likely not going to win the election. So if you take a popular vote across the entire United States, you're still going to have more people in those 3 states who are going to decide elections, and it's not right. Now, flip it on the other side. What about getting rid of the Electoral College for something similar to that, but something a little bit more equal? Like what? Like even if you simplify the Electoral College system and said, okay, each state gets 1 vote, the winner of the popular vote gets that vote towards their final count. And you have to have, so let's just say you have to get 26 out of 50 votes, 50 states to vote for you, the popular vote of each individual states. President Trump still won more overall states than Hillary Clinton. I'm looking at the map right now. Hillary Clinton won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 out of 50 states Hillary Clinton won. So even if we get rid of the Electoral College system and don't adopt a complete popular vote, and we just go with a popular vote, a popular Electoral College vote, let's call it that, a popular electorate vote, where, again, like I said, if 51% of your state votes for a Democrat, they get the vote of the state. And if, 51% of your state votes for a Republican, they get that, or whatever the majority is. Like if the majority is 38%, because it's split 3 different ways or whatever. That's but then again, here, that's the other problem. It's just, there's so many problems with the idea of creating a new system for the Electoral College system, for the voting system of America, because there isn't an easy answer to this. No matter how you look at it, there's a video up on YouTube where it takes different political systems and analyzes them, and eventually it comes down to the same problem. There is no perfect voting method. There is no perfect voting, there isn't a perfect election cycle or tool to determine a winner. So why mess with something that's not broken? This is still something that works for both parties. It just matters who plays the game the best way, because here's what's going to happen. Eventually somebody is going to beat a Democrat in a popular vote. I mean, it's not something that's going to be completely unheard of. It's going to happen eventually. In fact, it happened in 2004. President Bush and Vice President Dick Cheney won the popular votes over John Kerry and John Edwards. Period. And you didn't hear people saying, "Oh, we should get rid of the popular vote then," but it's going to happen now. If next year, if Elizabeth Warren loses, let's say they get rid of the Electoral College system and they decide to go with the popular vote, and Elizabeth Warren, who is right now the only real declared candidate in the 2020 election, wins the nomination and then goes on to face Donald Trump in the 2020 election and then loses the popular vote to Donald Trump, Democrats and the left are still going to say that they need a new system because the popular vote didn't work. Here's the thing. Democrats only like elections when they win the election. There wasn't a problem with the Electoral College system in 2008 or 2012. There isn't a problem with it in 2016, and there won't be a problem. I mean, there are problems with it. There are issues. Don't get me wrong. When Mitt Romney lost the Electoral College system, there were plenty of people on the right saying, we got to abolish the Electoral College system. Mitt Romney was another flawed candidate. We won't get into that. But at the end of the day, you got to realize that the Electoral College system is probably the best system out there, because there really isn't another system out there that's going to make an election more fair for both parties. Now, maybe we adopt a rule of 2 out of 3. Okay, so there's 3 different ways that you can possibly win an election. You have to win the popular vote. So you have to win 2 out of 3 of these different things. Popular vote, the Electoral College system, and the popular electorate. So basically, whoever wins the majority of votes in each state, you get that vote. You also have to win the Electoral College vote, and or the popular vote. You have to win 2 out of those 3 metrics in order to become president of the United States. This is just ridiculous. What are we going to do next? Have somebody do rock, paper, scissors? Maybe part of the process is who gets better TV ratings as well. There is no perfect system. So I say, instead of breaking something that isn't broken, that doesn't need, that needs. Let me step back and get it, because I'm not saying the Electoral College system is perfect, but I don't think that there's a better system. I think this is the best system that we have available to us. However, I think one of the things that definitely needs to be looked at by Democrats, and I think Democrats really need to work on this, is making it easier for people to get to the polls legally, and in a way that's not going to give Democrats the upper hand. Democrats, this is your chance. This is your chance now to make sure that every American has the proper tools to vote. I think that's more important than trying to figure out how to get around the Electoral College system or get rid of it. So let me know what you think about this. I'm open to discussions about this. I want to know what people think about the Electoral College system, because yes, I believe that if there is a better system out there that's going to make it 100% fair for both parties, let's do it. But there isn't, unfortunately. So if you have an idea, let me know. Also, let me know what you think about my proposition that instead of focusing on abolishing the Electoral College system, how about we focus on getting more people out to vote? Because I think that's really where elections are going to be won and lost in the future, is if you can get more people out to vote. I mean, look at the 2018 midterm elections. More people turned out to vote, and the Democrats won by a massive margin in the House. They lost by a good margin in the Senate, but still, that's either way. My name is Ruben J. Hit me up on Twitter at @TheRubenJ, on Facebook, facebook.com/TheRubenJ, and let me know what you think. I'm interested to hear what you guys have to say. This has been the Ruben J. Report.